agree.
I don't think anyone put these guys even in the top 4. Pretty awesome. Yeah, we got GreenCleric versus Yoshi. Green has been around for a couple of years. Yoshi, total newbie. And we are finally in the finals here. So this is FF1 PSP. We haven't actually got to like the relevant details. We've just been excited. I'm Kabetha. This is Toku. This is FF1 PSP. We are going straight into equipment glitches here. Toku, take it away.
Yes, so the equipment glitch, quite literally the most important, the most broken thing in this version of the game. It allows us to abuse the memory cursor in ways that no developer would possibly intend by taking one item in our inventory, switching characters to another person, and all of a sudden memory freaks out and we turn a hammer into a knight's armor, for example, in our inventory. And we also bypass logic checks, like we're not supposed to wear full plate on our hands, for example.
What, you're not supposed to do that?
Well, I mean, maybe just the gloves, but not like the full chest armor.
But you don't put a chest plate on your hands. You're doing it wrong.
So yes, because of this equipment glitch, we get very, very overpowered very, very quickly because we can just put all sorts of things we're not supposed to have yet into our inventory. Yoshi looks like to be the first one into the Chaos Shrine. We'll be grabbing a leather cap. And then we're going to turn that leather cap into the Judgment Staff. So this Judgment Staff was a post-game added item to the GBA version that has been carried over to PSP. It's okay, you know. You can use it in item in combat. It casts a little spell called Flare. It's not all that special.
Nah.
Most importantly, it's stronger than anything we could possibly have in this early game, and so we are going to use that against Garland here, and we are just going to bash his little armored head in.
His little head. He does actually have quite a small head.
And just like that, Yoshi.
Nice, speedy Chaos Garland. I always call him Chaos Garland for Yoshi there.
Spoilers!
Slightly there. Spoilers! I see I'm the white mage again. I'm always the white mage. I've just been typecast on green screen. Green screen.
So Garland down, we rescued the princess, and the journey is over. We win!
Yay!
No, not really.
Yeah, no, we've got a few big things to kill first. Anyone who doesn't know where we are in the tournament, because we're in the finals, we are doing a best of 5. This is mostly because there is a ridiculous amount of RNG in this speedrun. So, you know, rather than just one runner getting absolutely shafted by the game and us going, yay, you won the tournament, we thought it was best to try and integrate some skill and have a number of games. So we're having 5 races to determine who is the best to rule the rest.
Yeah, so while we've got a little bit of a cutscene here, a little bit of backstory on our runners here. GreenCleric, no stranger to this tournament. I believe he has participated in the past as well. Has had some fairly good finishes. If my memory serves, I believe he's gone to the bracket stage in past tournaments as well.
Yeah.
Also a very, very active racer in other versions. I believe he's a FF1 randomizer racer as well. Yoshi, from what I understand, they learned this game in a day.
Yep.
And about 2 weeks before the tournament, what's it called? Got informed of this tournament by one of our other tournament participants, Leo. And was just like, sure, I'll enter this.
What could go wrong?
And then now they're like, oh my god, I'm in the finals. How did this happen?
Every interview so far, it's been, I can't believe I've made it this far.
every start of race has been, I'm nervous as all heck, but that's normal, so we're fine.
So yeah, should we try and make this into a veteran versus newbie competition so we can give a bit of flavour to commentary? I'm not sure this is entirely accurate, but who cares about accuracy for a good story, right?
I mean, what's it called? They're both new faces to the finals of this tournament, regardless. So that's always good to see.
No. Let's make GreenCleric into the bad guy. Like, he's been here before. You know, he needs to give a chance to the new up and coming racer. Oh, everybody cheer for Yoshi. Everybody. I'm joking. They're both amazing.
So Yoshi is the first one into Bravoka here. But did his their shopping, excuse me, here in Provoca. GreenCleric did his shopping in Cornelia because route deviations, which I'll get into a little bit later on here. Most importantly, we're going to use that Judgment Staff and flare these pirates to death.
Yeah, that's an interesting one that we've actually got. Not only have we got old veteran versus fresh-faced ingenue, we also have different routes in the final, which is great because most people I think nowadays tend to use the black mage route, so it's nice to see the white mage route also getting through to the final.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see this. We can just take this as like a scientific test of which one's better. Whoever wins, that's the better route. Definitely. That's how science works.
Hashtag Kib Logic. Get it trending on all your favorite social media.
Oh, please don't. That's terrifying. Just remember the FBI. Who's this kid person?
Alright, so with those pirates defeated, we obtain a boat. It smells terrible of pirates and rum, but it's our only means of traversing the ocean right now.
And it's about to smell of shark guts.
No, it looks like the shark lived.
Oh, nah, damn it. No sushi on the menu. But possibly he's a nugget.
Oh, no, yeah, okay, so this will be an opportunity for GreenCleric to make up some time because not only is this a terrible encounter, it's also an ambush. Yoshi, okay, they're just taking the safe strat of just gonna flare them to death.
I just saw Yoshi's names as well, particularly with the paralysis is great. Paralysis hype! Ow! Oh, that's gonna be great.
Yes, so if you saw on your left hand side of your screen, English is hard. GreenCleric went and took a little detour to buy a leather shield. So this is going back to route deviations. GreenCleric is running the white mage version of the Lust Dagger route. Yoshi running the black mage version. Major difference is who is your primary spellcaster. For Yoshi, this will be the black mage who will need to get his their black mage to a certain EXP level in order to buy those spells to use in combat. GreenCleric, on the other hand, doesn't care about EXP, but does need to go out of his way to grab a few items here and there to glitch into combat items, which will be able to cast those black magics for him. So GreenCleric also detouring to grab those gold needles.
Mm-hmm. This little detour is going to be made up by Yoshi later when they have to head into Alfheim to get their black mage spells.
Mm-hmm. So Yoshi might look like they're a little bit ahead. Don't be concerned for GreenCleric though. This game has can flip a lead at the drop of a coin.
Oh yeah, do not worry about if anyone seems like they're in the lead unless we start going, okay, that's a 10-minute, that's 15-minute, okay. Other than that, don't worry about it. Either of these runners can definitely make up a good 5 minutes on the other one.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this game is random enough in its encounters and the AI just being dumb. We don't need to randomize it any further than that.
We'll tell you if we're worried. Otherwise, just assume it's probably just FF1.
If you don't hear one of us going, uh-oh, it's probably fine.
Also, on Yoshi's side, welcome to the Marsh Cave and the first instance of epic music. Marsh Cave is the first dungeon, but doesn't really live up to its name because it's got a very low encounter rate with nothing too dangerous, which is always a scary thing to say as a commentator when you haven't seen what the next encounter is going to be yet.
Oh, and Yoshi has gotten 2 encounters in the Marsh Cave thus far, but GreenCleric has only gotten 1, or actually none. So Just like that, with some terrible encounter luck walking to the Marsh Cave, combined with those 2 encounters, GreenCleric is just right
Being
back
a
on
little
Yoshi's
bit
tail.
safe there.
Yeah.
Yoshi, having already got the encounters, has already healed his people to full.
And Yoshi getting the good RNG there, as I mentioned, because the Black Mage is concerned about getting the EXP. We want to see as many Piscademons as possible here. We don't care how many we see because of that Judgment Staff and the Flare. So Yoshi got the 4, GreenCleric only got the 2. Doesn't really matter for GreenCleric though.
Yep.
So as long as Yoshi's Black Mage doesn't die, they should be fine.
In the next boss fight, which is a fairly low chance, but this is FF1. Never say never.
It's not a complete run killer, but it is incredibly inconvenient to not have those black magic spells on your Black Mage if you're running the Black Mage version of the route, because then you have to resort to the Judgment Staff for everything, and boy, does that waste time.
So yeah, the lead just passing backwards and forwards a little bit here with each encounter. Very close race so far. Only an hour and 20 to go.
Yeah, so both of our runners have obtained a crown in the Marsh Cave and are going to head up north to the Western Keep. Final Fantasy 1 wasn't terribly great with their cardinal directions.
I assume that it's called the Western Keep because it's at the west of the map, not at the west of the continent or north of the... I don't know. Also, you'll notice both these runners are trying to keep out of the forest to the best of their ability. It's not always possible, but you get more encounters in forests, so generally not something you want to step on.
So this is Astos. He's a bit of a jerk because of this.
Oh,
no!
I shouldn't have said how unlikely that was. That's not what Yoshi wanted.
Okay, commentator's cursed.
Oh, got a second
Okay,
turn.
so
Might be able to
this is
revive.
actually a good thing because we just need that Phoenix. Okay, good, got the good
There
turn
we
order.
go.
Astos is already gone. Phoenix down went off. Okay, okay, this is fine. They're fine.
Yeah, it's just the one race tonight. The runners live in very different time zones, so they're having a little bit of trouble getting a race that they can both do with work and sleep and, you know, a 7 hour time difference and all of that.
Oh my god! Like
got that
the
level
worst, the worst thing that would have happened there was that the Phoenix down, what's it called? The thief took his turn before the Phoenix down went off. Like that was the risky way to go about it there, because would have could have defended and put through the Phoenix down and then taking the extra turn.
Yeah.
But because
I don't even know what Astos does on his third turn.
it depends if they're on if Astos is on a spell loop or a physical loop. Yeah. The fortunate part being that the mage being in that third slot would only have maybe like a 1 in 8 chance of being targeted, but you know,
but
one out of 8 times, you know, it happens, you know, all the time when you don't want it to happen.
Cleric is down, and GreenCleric is ignoring this fact, carrying on, trying to make up a bit of time.
No, this is, yeah, we've seen Cleric do this. If Cleric doesn't have to go out of his way to open the menu yet, he's not going to. And it's not anything that's terribly important for this portion of the run here. We don't really necessarily need experience on the warrior.
It's just that 4-character bonus for running away as opposed to 3.
Yeah. We're not actually doing a whole lot in terms of fighting encounters at all in this early game as well. So it's not like the warrior is actually missing out on any EXP by taking a little bit of a nap and being dragged with his face in the mud by the rest of our party.
Wouldn't it be amazing if when they got up after being KO'd, they had an animation where they just wiped the mud off their faces?
But that would waste time.
I'm sorry. This is my non-speedrunner background. Talking.
So
There's a
Yoshi
couple of-
did have to duck into Elfheim to get those spells, but because of sea encounter luck, looks like has still been able to maintain a slight
Yep.
lead.
A couple of rubbish encounters for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
The sea tiles give you a very low chance of giving an encounter, but when they do, they're a bit of a mess at this point in the game.
Mm-hmm. It's like, because three of the four encounter formations on the water are very difficult to run from. The only thing that isn't hard to run from is Buccaneers, because you have two different Sahagin formations and you have the sharks.
Yep. And sharks are even hard to run from like later in the game for some silly reason.
Have you ever tried to outswim a shark?
I think I've seen people outsail sharks. We do have a boat, to be fair.
Right. But then again, as well, what is the jumping power on the shark? Because the sharks are jumping into our boat.
Yeah, they
these are
You have got a point.
these are like full size what's it called, crude vessels, not
That
some
said,
dinghy.
I do believe I could outrun a shark. I don't think they run very fast.
Well, not
if
having
they were
legs
at one
would
end
be
of
kind
my
of hard.
boat, if they were at one end of my boat, I could just run to the other end of the boat and it'd be fine.
This is an incredibly rare formation to see, the double shark single Sahagin.
It's because you were talking about the 4 formations that you get. Oh, and a Sahagin chief! Thank you, FF1. We love it when you illustrate our commentary.
So Yoshi, doing the slightly safer method of just casting that Thundar with the Black Mage, could have issued the flee commands with the other party members, but the Sahagins are agile enough that they probably would have gone before any of our party members tried to run anyway. So, and then the defend command effectively skips their turn because there's no animation associated with it. So it does save a few seconds of optimization if based on the turn order. But
that
Cleric,
has allowed Cleric to get a little bit of a head start.
Mm-hmm.
Gone
Not a
and
terribly
grabbed-
great one. Not a terribly
No,
big
no,
one.
We're still not worried. But he's grabbed the Mystic Key, which lets him get to a couple of chests on the map, on this bit of the map, including the Mithril Hammer here, which we're going to use for the next of our agility equipment glitches.
Mhm.
Actually, the first of our agility equipment glitches, sorry.
Yes.
The Thieves Armlet, we're going to put on everything because we can. And it gives us +5 agility on each slot that we put it on, which is 3 for each character. So 3 times 4, you do the maths, I can't be bothered.
Isn't it 3 times 5?
3 times 4 times 5, because there's 4 characters. Three
Oh,
slots.
okay. Gotcha.
Five agility.
Okay.
I'm doing the maths in my head now. Damn it, Toku.
So another route deviation here is Yoshi will be picked up an additional bronze gloves, and will use that bronze glove to glitch the Sage's Staff into the White Mage and the Thieves inventory. Benefit of these being that intelligence does factor in slightly to the run chance calculation. It's not like we're going to turn the Thief into a spellcaster, it's mostly we just need another one for later. But this will ensure that our mages have the intelligence boosts needed to get their spell damage rolls off. So GreenCleric in Cornelia Castle got the Mithril Knife and the Nitro Powder.
Mithril Knife also being used for an equipment glitch in the future. We have a very insightful question from a very annoying commentator in chat. So why didn't we put extra agility equipment on the shield slot? That's a perfect question. It's because we need equipment on the shield slot that has an animation attached to it. If it doesn't have an animation attached to it and we block using the shield that we have in the shield slot, it can hardlock the game and obviously destroy your run, kill your race, end the world, all of this.
Yeah, hard locking the game is not a terribly good thing in a race setting. Let's see for that. Yeah, so there are some equipments that are safe to put into that shield slot. The Thieves Armlet is not one of them. It's not usually an issue because usually when we're putting things into the shield slot, we're putting an actual shield there. That's you know, when we can magic equipment into the wrong slot, that becomes an issue. Yes, as chat pointing out, armor in the shield slot is the equivalent of crossing the streams.
Which I would know nothing about.
Da 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 da.
So, Cleric's still tiny bit ahead. Just going into the cutscene with Nerik, the pyromaniac dwarf, who is going to blast us away out of Fetch Quest City. And we're going to head to Annoying Dungeon City instead.
Yes, Annoying Dungeon City has a item we'll need for the equipment glitch, and then we head into Annoying Dungeon after that.
I wonder if Malmon knows that their unofficial name is Annoying Dungeon City.
Well, it is effective. Their postcards do say worst place on the planet.
Yeah.
They happily own that.
Is that a thing that you guys have over the pond? We have twinning with like random towns in Europe, where you just have a town that's like your friend, and you put it on all your signs. No.
No, not something I'm.
Thing.
That's not something I'm familiar with. But then again, me being in Hawaii and in an island in the middle of the ocean, I'm not familiar with what goes on with the rest of the continent of
You don't
U.S.
have any
on a regular.
Just Hawaii on its own.
So, yep, we've blown open that canal, and Cleric has sailed through to the town of Melmon. Oh, chat helping us out. The U.S. does apparently have twin cities.
Oh, right, okay.
This is good to know, because I didn't know that.
Where do you guys twin with?
I don't have a clue.
This is absolutely relevant commentary to FF1 PSP, by the way, and I'm not going off on a sidetrack. So we just glitched ourselves, not some agility equipment this time, but some attacking equipment. And basically the only attacking equipment we're going to need for the rest of the run, which is the Barbarian Sword. Barbarian Sword is... Have you already said this?
No, I haven't.
No? Okay, I'm getting deja vu. Barbarian Sword. So it's like a drop from an optional dungeon. Not just any optional dungeon, but the hardest one. Not just any drop from any boss, but the hardest version of the hardest boss in the game. And because of that, it's like 3 times as powerful as any other sword in the game. And we're just going to glitch it on, most of our characters here. So we should be able to kill pretty much anything for the next hour in 1 or 2 hits, which is pretty good. That's the good thing about glitches. They allow you to cheat horrendously.
The other, another option, variation there. GreenCleric did also glitch that leather shield into the mage's staff, so we'll now have access to that Fyra black magic spell. And now we're just diving down into the Earth Cave. Not a terribly nice place. But the worst of it is yet to come, as the 3rd floor of the Earth Cave is the one where we can run into all the nasty encounters. Chat with the helpful comment there. So apparently Denver twin with
Brest.
I'm in France. Thank you for taking that, because I would have no idea if I was gonna butcher that or not.
Oh no, that's not how you pronounce it. I was just being a small child. It's probably Bray.
And then
this is so much information. Thank you very much, Nathan.
See, the thing about me is that that I'm getting there is that, like, all of these twin cities though are a U.S. city with a European city. It's not like like a U.S. city with another U.S. city. So
I think we twin the Earth Cavern with what's the second most annoying dungeon in the game? Sunken Shrine? Waterfall Cavern.
Maybe Ice? No,
Oh,
does
yeah,
Ice
maybe.
does Ice get its own? Oh, that was a boss, by the way. It's dead now.
Yeah, that was the vampire. It's meant to be a scary undead boss. That was the power of the barbarian sword. Yoshi not far behind, making their way.
Yep.
Downtown.
Walking fast.
Faces fast. But they're homebound.
Okay.
Now, unfortunately, because this is a silly game, we have to make our way all the way out of the Cavern of Earth. Why? Because if we went a few feet to the right, we would find a little platform that says something along the lines of, you need the power of Earth to open this and make your way down to fight a skeleton dude. It definitely says that. So we have to get all the way out to go find an Earth Rod, just so that we can go all the way back down, so that we can go and fight Lich.
Yeah. I don't actually know what that tome says, because I never bother checking it. It's just like...
I think it's something along the lines of, you need the power of Earth. We could ask Yoshi to look. There's nothing at stake, right? It's just...
I would just flat out expect the game to be like, I'm blocking your path.
That's pretty much it.
So this gargoyle encounter is probably like the only other bad encounter that's not on the 3rd floor that you can run into. As you'll notice, Cleric had a little bit of trouble getting away from that. Even with all of our agility gear, the gargoyles themselves are pretty evasive,
Yeah,
and so...
they're pretty speedy.
Yeah.
They're more speedy than a flying rock statue has any right to be, really.
Well, no, that's what's it called? It's they're awake because the sun's not out. They're underground, so they can actually move around a bit.
Ah, isn't that vampires?
I don't know.
I wasn't aware that gargoyles only came to life during the daytime.
The last time I learned anything about gargoyles was Gargoyles the cartoon from like the 90s and Hunchback of Notre Dame. Yes.
Yeah. So on the topic of strange mystical creatures who have weird habits, GreenCleric heading into the Giant's Cave, where we find a giant. And what do giants eat? They eat rubies. What did we pick up from the chest behind the vampire? A ruby. How convenient.
Yeah, so...
Cheeky self-promotion.
So Yoshi, out of the Earth Cave as well, got the shorter end of the stick when it came to those encounters for the Earth Cave. This is why the Earth Cave is not a very well-liked place. It just throws all the encounters at you, everything gets in your way, everything is out to try and kill you. It's like, don't these monsters know that we are the warriors of Life of Legend? Who are they to get in our way?
Some annoying wolf encounters for Cleric slowed him down a little bit in the Giant's Cave. Again, not very big a difference between these guys. Nothing to worry about.
Still completely recoverable here.
So this is the Earth Rod that is going to let us through to the bottom of the Cavern of Earth. We had to go all the way over here just to grab that from a random old dude.
It's a crowbar that he's spent the last 100 years etching some very, very important runes into it.
Maybe
yeah,
it's just a crowbar.
I got nothing. I got nothing after that.
And he made it look special.
I don't know where I was going with that.
He was trying to sell it
High five.
to the highest bidder. Yeah, run a high five. He etched some special runes and stuff into it because he thought he could, cheat some passerby into buying it from him. But then he found people who actually needed it, so he was like, "Yeah, you can have my crowbar, but call it the Earth Rod."
Yeah,
so
Sardis Cave is actually a
hard.
What's it called? A little-known hardware store. But with that Earth Rod in hand, our runners are going to make their way back to the Earth Cave. Not by choice.
That's unlucky. GreenCleric, so these shadows, right? You get them a lot on this continent, but I believe it's a 7 out of 8 chance of them being a preemptive attack, which you can run away from instantly. And that 1 out of 8 left over, they're an ambush.
Mm-hmm.
And an ambush that Cleric is currently having a bit of trouble running away from.
Yeah, that was a change from the NES version because in NES there are a lot of encounters formations that were designed to ambush you because, of course, they were. You know, why would they want to make this game easy? And
so
so
was
in
this just a leftover?
yeah, so in remakes, what they did to kind of help ease up the early game was that I believe it was any encounter that had a greater than 50% chance to ambush, they flipped it so you would have a 50% chance to preempt them, and then
Nice.
whatever the percentage afterward would just be the ambush chance or blah. So
Nice.
those shadows were supposed to be like 90% to ambush you or something ridiculous like that in NES.
That's not fun. You get loads of them on the, as Yoshi's illustrating, you get loads of them on that continent.
Yeah,
That's
but at
fine.
least they only inflict the darkness status and not
What, the one that
not
doesn't
like
work.
not like the paralysis one. Oh no, darkness works in remakes. It just doesn't work terribly well.
Yoshi
All things
actually
considered.
catching up a bit.
Yep.
Quite a lot, in fact. So we didn't mention before because we were off on one about something. But yeah, the B3 is the dangerous floor. That's why both runners here doing safety save. Actually, I don't believe Yoshi did.
No, I don't think Yoshi did either.
Yoshi going
actually.
hard and gets a cockatrice for their troubles. These guys, when they peck you, can cause petrification. Petrification, essentially a KO. If all your characters get it, then you're dead. And thank you! Cockatrice is on GreenCleric's screen as well.
Yay, jerk birds. Okay, white mage kid with able to run away.
Yoshi with the 9-wolf ambush.
Oh, this is going to allow
Ouch.
Cleric to make up some time here.
Unless, of course, Cleric gets more cockatrices. Neither of them having a great time here.
Bat. Hi, Bat.
Bats, their movement's completely controlled by RNG, so it's very possible that in those tiny 1 square narrow corridors, they could just be standing in front of you and refuse to move and look at you like, I'm a bat, what do I know?
Yeah, this is why NPCs are known as the worst enemy in Final Fantasy 1. It's like, what do you mean they're the worst enemies? They don't even fight you. Yes, they do. They
Oh,
get in
yes,
my
they
way.
They just don't know they're fighting you.
Cleric with the Wraith. What's it called? Wraith encounter. Ooh, okay. This is not fun.
Oh, wraiths. So
Okay.
they're not too bad until they are. Which is what's happening right now. Toku, however, on Toku on Cleric's screen, managing to get off that flare. Sorry.
It's a big fire. But that did allow Yoshi to pull ahead, and so
We
they're
should
the first
actually
one.
have the major stuff for the white mage route there.
Yeah, but I think it's a... Actually, Yeah, I wonder about that.
I think that might have been a misclick.
No, I even made a comment about how because I specifically went out of my way to comment that he actually did glitch that into his inventory too.
Misclick. Oh well.
Oh, it might be menu management because he wants to make it so that the white mage has easy access to all the
Possibly.
items there, and then it just keeps the black mage on the judging staff there. Yoshi getting the low roll, so Lich got a turn there, but Lich decided to be nice and do a physical. Yoshi informing us they saved about a minute compared to average splits.
Nice. I didn't
Oh, that
know.
is
How
also
did
a low
Yoshi
roll.
even get ahead? How did that happen?
3-character paralog from a
Ooh.
5 wraith encounter.
Yeah, that would do it.
So both of our runners getting low rolls on that one there, but Lich deciding to play nice in this game 1 of our best of 5 by not blizzarding.
It's alright, he's saving it up for game 3.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, he's luring us into a false sense of security. Yeah, so thing we totally skipped over, but it's like why would our runners want the safety save before a boss like Lich? We have all this agility equipment and really strong swords. Lich has a little spell called Blizzara,
Such a tiny
and
one.
Lich's magic stat is such that it will do, if he's nice, 130 damage. More likely than not, 150, maybe 160. That's more than we'll usually have in HP at this particular point of the game because we're not really leveling with all of our equipment. So
Basically,
yeah.
Lich can one-shot you if he just doesn't like the look of your face.
Mm-hmm. Lich is very much a gatekeeper for this early game. That being said, comparing Yoshi's HPs to Cleric's, Yoshi has gotten some very good HP rolls. I mean, the
Yoshi
white,
got swole black mage.
yeah, the mages are about one strong level of HP ahead of Cleric's there, and the thief is keeping up with the warrior in terms of HP. So that either means that the thief is getting very high rolls, or the warrior is getting very low rolls.
Or a bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
So, the next town that we are heading to is Helpful Equipment Town. They're twinned with the caravan that gives you giant tonics. I don't know what it's actually called. It's just called caravan, right? But yeah, Helpful Equipment Town is next to a lake that's shaped like a crescent. They might want to consider calling themselves Crescent Lake Town. Just saying.
Maybe.
But yeah, so we're heading around the lake. Unfortunately, we can't get across it yet. But there's lots of poison things here, so you usually end up limping into the town. Once we get in there, we're going to be doing a bit of equipment glitching. Just a little bit.
Yes, this will be our next instance of the equipment glitch. So usually whenever we're glitching something, it's to improve on whatever stats we already have. So, okay, Yoshi getting the rude Anaconda Scorpion encounter literally 5 steps out of town. Going to just waste a boatload of his time.
Yeah, 9. If anyone hadn't put this together, if you get ambushed by one thing, not a big deal. Get ambushed by 9 things, every single one of them has to take a turn before you even get a chance to run.
This is a good situation though, because it does allow us to get poison onto the warrior, so we'll get to that in a second. But important thing here, equipment shopping. Buying a mithril gloves from this armor shop, buying a mithril axe from this weapon shop. We're going to turn that mithril axe into the black robes into our party. Black garb. The black garb will give us a +10 bonus to our agility. Cleric is going to glitch that mithril knife into a black robe, the thing I got confused with earlier, which will cast Blizzara when used as an item in combat. And then with that mithril glove, we're going to glitch a weapon known as the Lust Dagger onto our mages. The Lust Daggers give a flat +20 to agility and evasion, and thus, with all this agility gear and such, the mages can actually even keep up with the thief now in terms of agility and turn order.
And that was very nice menuing on Yoshi's side. Actually, let them fall a little bit ahead of Cleric.
Yeah. Cleric did have to do that detour to do item shopping management there, but both of our runners now getting that canoe from these wise old men doing yoga in the park. Credit Gyre for that one.
I really hope that's what they're doing.
Well, they got to exercise both the mind and the body.
Mm-hmm. They are in harmony with each other, after all. Even when you're old.
Yes, so important things of note there with that last equipment glitch. So we didn't put any of the equipment onto our warrior, a unfortunate product of the equipment glitch, as I briefly touched upon way earlier in the game, is that you do have to have somebody that can equip the equipment normally before you glitch it onto another character. So that's the reason why the warrior is rocking slightly less efficient gear. And then Yoshi has that poison on that warrior. So the reason why they're not healing that off is because coming up
because they've got the best names going on right now. Poison Hype! Sorry, carry on.
Coming up in maybe about 5-ish minutes, we're going to be doing our level grind. And in that level grind, we actually want to temporarily dirt nap both the warrior and the thief, so that we can split EXP 2 ways amongst our mages rather than amongst all 4 of our party members. By having the poison on the warrior, it allows the warrior to maintain a low HP, and if we get into a situation where, let's say, we can't run from something or stuff gets a turn, the poison will tick down and just KO that warrior for us. It's a very nice near guaranteed way to ensure that the warrior goes down. And then, additionally, we'll not be healing up our thief beyond maybe about 70, 80 HP. 80 is a little high. I would expect Yoshi might take a few steps over a couple of icicle tiles to bring that down.
Yeah, that thief's looking a bit too resistant to death, let's say.
Yeah. I think just in the general walk path over the ice should be good enough there. One of the things we are not talking about, however, is why Ice Cave is terrible. So Yoshi just saw those mind flares. They are Piscademons, but worse. But at least you can run from them. The Piscademons are back.
There's lots of undead that we can get paralyzed by, and are also quite hard to run from.
Yeah.
There's very rare encounters that we shall not mention. There's ambushes.
Cleric is getting
There's more ambushes.
Oh boy.
We're not mentioning the rare encounters unless they turn up, because we've done that before.
Welcome to the Ice Cave. Hope you enjoy your stay.
Twinned with hell.
No, the Earth Cave.
I think this one's worse. So Yoshi... Oh, Yoshi did not do any extra running.
Uh-oh.
They do Mind Blast, which causes paralysis.
Okay, the mage stayed up, so okay, Yoshi doing the safe strat. Judgment stepping down, okay.
Also, Mind Players, when they punch you, can just one-shot you from any amount of HP.
Yeah. They do have Death Touch on their physical attacks, and then that Mind Blast is an AoE paralysis attack.
So, say you got 2 of your characters paralyzed, and then they punch the last one, you're in some deep doo-doo.
Yeah, that Dark Wizard encounter that Yoshi got a preemptive on, if that's not one of the 90% chance of the preemptives, can just end very, very horribly. Cleric got a Cockatrice Mummy encounter, look more undead and Piscademons.
More Piscademons! Oh, you shouldn't have. And we
you really shouldn't have.
Finally got to the grind spot. Yoshi healing up their mages to make sure that they are safe from Thundara, which the Evil Eye is very kindly going to give us straight away.
Mm-hmm. So Yoshi's all set up now. We are just going to kill this eye over and over again. The eye is another trap tile. The last time we saw a trap tile was back at the Marsh Cave with the Piscademons, usually put in front of a valuable quest item like this Levistone that our runners are going to pick up. And then we are just going to step off and on this tile over and over again, killing this eye and getting our mages up to about level 18. We'll see. I believe both of our runners play it safe and go to the full 18. They don't do the level 17 plus 1 extra eye strat. Yeah, both of our runners very risk averse in this race.
That is understandable, because we've seen so many runners die to horrible things in this place.
Mm-hmm. And with a race this close, I can completely understand wanting to just play it safe, do the things you know are guaranteed to work, because I'd rather be close and then RNG just take the wheel as far as encounter luck is concerned, rather than I'm going to take this risk to pull ahead by 10 seconds and then watch it blow up in my face
15 minutes.
just horribly. Yeah.
Exactly. Can't win if you're dead. Well,
yep.
You can, kind of, but you will lose 15 minutes, so you need the other runner to die too.
Mm-hmm. So that's 18 for Yoshi. I believe Cleric shouldn't be more than maybe an eye or 2 behind. 214 at level 18.
Nice.
That is a beefy black mage.
Are we sure that black mage is not called Banzai?
I don't know. They don't stop screaming because like when we asked them the name, they just kept going ah.
Ah! What's your name? Ah!
186, also very respectable.
Yeah,
That
not
is
bad.
both of our runners having above average black mages. As
Oh, no,
Yoshi
more
getting
mages.
did Yoshi
Nice
take a
preemptive on one screen. And
did
my
Yoshi take a
blast
save after
numbers.
the eye grind?
I don't think so. Oh, and preemptive dark wizards.
Okay,
That's
okay, no, this is fine. We're fine.
Everything fine, totally fine. That
This
judgment stuff is getting some use.
this is actually one of the huge benefits of the Lust Dagger route. By putting those Lust Daggers on the mages, we can guarantee scary situations like that are less scary because it's more favorable that the mages will go early enough that they can wipe those encounters. The older version of the route, the Barbarian Sword, really struggled with this area because we didn't put Lust Daggers onto our mages. We put Barbarian Swords on all of our characters. So even with the agility gear, we didn't necessarily have the intelligence to do our spell rolls enough that the flare would take them out, nor did we have the agility that we would reliably go to early enough in the turn order for that judgment staff to take them out. So
I love that
yeah.
synchronized preemptive plus ambush. That was good.
yeah, so both of our runners now going to make their way back to the boat.
I can't believe
And-
how close they still are. It's crazy.
No, I imagine we're going to see a lot of games like this between these two. As I mentioned, both of them very risk adverse. I know. When Yoshi was doing a couple of practice runs, they specifically mentioned that there's so much out of their control in this game that the stuff that they can control, they want to make sure sure they have absolute control over. So like they are testing like all sorts of different route optimizations. They are trying to learn, optimal flight paths in the airboat.
Yeah.
Speaking of the airboat, both of our runners grabbing that now in this desert.
Did you say airboat?
Yeah, it's an airboat.
Like a boat in the air. Airboat. I like it.
Yeah, you have a boat for on the water and you have a boat for the air, so it's an airboat.
I've got a feeling they might both be called ships, but I could just be being nitpicky. Speaking of the airboat, Cleric has just picked up the airboat and is now swimming through the air.
So-
we can only land on a green tile. That's the main problem with the airship that stops us from going wherever we like. We can't land on a marsh, can't land on a desert, can't land on rocks, can't land on forest. So there's a couple of just randomly dispersed little green tiles, like that one just under the forest there. And then we have to walk to wherever we're going from there. It's like, you got an Uber that doesn't really want to take you into the dodgy area of town. It's kind of annoying.
That's a sandworm.
Yep, that was a sandworm on grass. Like
So-
your skyboat.
No, so the reason why sandworms are particularly scary is because if you have a particularly bad set of RNG called finding the rare sandworm encounter, which is like I think a 3 in 64, it ambushing you, probably a little under a 50% there, and then it deciding, oh, I have my turn, I'm going to cast Earthquake. That can potentially just insta-wipe your party because Earthquake is an insta-kill skill. And I don't believe either of our runners took a safety save upon landing their airships at the Citadel.
No. It's like, the thing is that it's such a rare encounter. Well, it's not a rare encounter, but it's rare that it gets a turn before you, and it's rare that turn is Earthquake, and it's rare that Earthquake hits all your party. So the chances of it actually wiping your run are so low that every time you don't save, it will happen.
Yeah, here's the thing with this game is you only need to be burned by something once to never forget it ever again.
The longer the run, the more nightmares you have. Speaking of nightmares, did you like that segue? Was that a good segue? So we have Spike Tile here that we're just about to get to with some nice pretty unicorns who are called nightmares. We're just going to kill them because they're not unrunnable, but they're pretty hard to run from. Here they are, beautiful unicorns. We love us some beautiful unicorns that will snort all over us. But unfortunately, because we need something on the right side of the unicorns, we have to go past the unicorns twice.
Yes. We do need to pick up this healing staff. It glitches into the Lordly Roads, which Yoshi just glitched onto their Black Mage. Cleric, I believe, does that for his White Mage after class change. So both of our runners will eventually put one on, at least for this early portion here. That trap tile, yeah, it's unfortunate we have to step over that twice in PSP. In other versions, we can just step over it once and then completely ignore it. Even in GBA, or not GBA, excuse me, NES, where we do need that healing staff, and architectural oversight, we can actually just completely step around the trap tile going back over it.
Oh, that's great. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So we got ourselves a rat tail. That's the important thing we came here for. Cleric also additionally took a detour to pick up the gauntlets. So that's an item that he will use to cast Thundara, as well as will glitch later on for an intelligence staff for the White Mage for the final Chaos fight. So with this, now Cleric has everything he needs to cast Fyra, Blizzara, or Thundara with using black magic spells through the White Mage holding up an item. It makes sense if you don't think about it.
Yeah. White Mage does black magic. Does this make her a red mage? Maybe?
Maybe. Also, a little brief instance of poison. How? Ah!
Poison hype! And another sandworm. Let's continue to tell everyone how rare they are while we see like a bunch of them.
Should we also start invoking the other ones, such as Tyrannosaurus?
Wait,
Golem.
there's this kind of rare 1 in 64. It turns
It's a robot, isn't it?
I think
it stands on two legs.
It does a thing where it like nukes your entire party. And
right. I think it's some kind of
can you
mech.
help us?
I think it's some kind of mech that's used in
some kind of
war or something.
Battle machine. That's it.
Yeah, death thing. Yeah, right.
Deathing. Let's call him Deathing. Stranding. Deathing strands. That's the one.
Yes. So both of our runners, getting back on topic, sailed to this little island here in order to talk to Bahamut. Bahamut says, "Warriors, prove your bravery and courage to me, and I shall grant you power."
They're like, well, we went to this random place, and we like saw a rodent, and we were like, oh, you got a cool tail, so we like chopped his tail off. And we were like, you want that? Do you want that? And they said, and Bahamut says,
good enough here.
Yeah, that'll do.
So we got ourselves class change. Cleric buying himself a fairy bottle and some giant's tonics. We need that fairy bottle to get a quest progression item, and we'll be needing those giant's tonics at the final chaos fight. We don't need 11. It's just faster to do 1 up input than it is to, buy like 3. Usually is I think like the safe amount that you would need in like the ultra worst case scenario. You can usually get by with just 2.
Yeah, when you're like your warrior just turns up to the final battle like, I've got 200 HP, is that enough? You're like, maybe not. Could you possibly actually be a tank rather than just a useless pile of poo? Thank you. Yeah, not that either of us have had that happen, and we're deeply scarred for life or anything.
No. I'm sure none of our runners have had their white mage critical punch by chaos on turn 1.
No, never. So yeah, the other thing we got from the desert was a random fairy in a bottle. Mm-hmm. Which definitely isn't a genie in a bottle, and you can't rub her the right way. And she gives us some oxyale, so we can now breathe underwater.
Yep. But we won't need any of that for this particular moment because we are now journeying to the volcano. The volcano, it's very, very hot, full of lava.
No, really.
And... Oh yeah, no! Quite surprising actually. Who'd have thunk a volcano full of lava? I thought a volcano would just be just a regular rock mountain that's maybe just like a little bit on the toasty side.
Bit toasty, just a tad toasty.
Yes, but
The lava is actually a mechanic that we are gonna do the opposite of. Obviously, you're meant to not stand on the lava because that's smart. In general, if you find yourself in a volcano, don't step on the lava. But we're gonna step on it because you don't get encounters on the lava, so we take more damage, but it's speedy, and we like to go fast.
Yep. So, Cleric doing the safe thing there of stopping partway to heal through. In PB attempts, runners you'll typically see will just run straight through this thing, and if they happen to get an encounter that wipes them, oh well, you lost an hour, time to reset.
Yeah. I haven't noticed Yoshi healing or...
Yoshi, I don't know if they do stop to heal.
I mean, you've got options here. You can save before you go in, you can heal one character, you can heal all your characters a bit. There are some routes where you get Healara before this, so that you can just heal up your entire party with one button, which is nice.
Nope, Yoshi just flat out just ran through the whole thing and then burned all of his their potions. Yep.
And of course,
Carrie.
Yeah, that lady with the tentacles, she can cast Fyraga
for this one.
Which there's about 50% chance of her doing that, and that, like Blizzara, can hit your party for a lot of HP.
Oh, that's the white mage down to physical.
This is fine.
Yeah. Is the white mage level 19 already?
Probably. Unless Cleric cut it quite close, probably.
No, I know because both of them only took the one dragon zombie, so...
We'll have to see. We'll have to see.
I'd imagine both of them, would take the steps to ensure that they don't have to worry about that, so like if they're tracking their levels and they saw that they got the EXP for level 19 at some point, if they got a level up at some point in Citadel, because I did see that they both got a Minotaur zombie encounter as well for some EXP. Yeah. So it could be that the mages are already at level 19 and they're fine, but that can be a little scary for Yoshi.
Okay. We'll see if they check. Because if you don't check, this is the part where you go, oh, where can I level? And most people don't know the world well enough to be able to find their way back to a leveling spot. So we'll have to see.
Yes, very, very much a bleep, 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 when you are short of EXP and trying to figure out what to do to fix this.
I think they're alright.
Okay, Cleric's fine. Yoshi is the one I'm concerned about. However.
Yeah, it's the Healara that we will start panicking at.
Especially Yoshi just not doing my heart any favors by not opening the menu as well. Okay. Yeah.
We good. Okay, so we also got Teleport and Blizzara and Haste for the Black Mage, which we're going to use Haste to increase the number of attacks that we can do in a turn for some of the later fights, and Teleport basically takes us down a level in a dungeon, so it's a quick way to kind of maneuver through a dungeon without having to run around and get encounters.
And then that Healara will function as our main way of healing our party. The heal line of spells is a party AoE heal, but they usually heal about maybe like one tier down from what they would normally. So if for like Healara would maybe AoE heal for around a cure range, but we have so much intelligence gear that stacked onto our party that we can kind of bump Healara to healing in a Healaga range.
Yeah, we cheat. We cheat. That's this run in a nutshell.
Only a lot.
Only a lot.
Yeah.
welcome to the Sunken Shrine, twinned with Atlantica from The Little Mermaid. I don't know. We're underwater. There's some unrunnable encounters. We can't run very fast because we're swimming. We're gonna take care of
Those are
those in our
ghosts?
individual ways. Ghosts are weak to fire. So we're gonna see a firer from the Black Mage. We're not gonna see a firer from the Black Mage because there was only 2 of them, so we just killed them.
Yeah, I believe it's mostly up to runner preference, but I think there's been a little bit of sciencing done, and it's like if there's only 2 enemies, it's about the same amount of time.
Yep.
Maybe like marginally faster to physical them down. 3 is 50-50, it breaks even on average, and then it's only maybe about when you see 4 or more that the AoEs are or just hands down faster.
The main thing is that you don't want to be menuing back and forth because that'll take even longer.
Yeah, those couple of extra seconds like going back and forth in your menus unnecessarily will actually add up over time.
So yeah, mostly in the Sunken Shrine, you generally will see runners doing AoE spells rather than physical attacks because you don't want to have to swap back and forth. Snakes in a lake.
This game is suffering from a severe case of we put sea in front of its name, therefore it's a sea monster. It's like the line from Doctor Who. You can't just put space in front of everything and make it a space thing. Space pirates aren't a thing. It's like, what do you call them? Space pirates.
So on Yoshi's side here, we're doing our 3rd and final agility gear upgrade. Because why would we want black garbs when we can have survival vests? We've just picked up a light axe from a chest. Survival vests give you plus 15 agility on each slot you put them on. And you can put them in your shield slot. Not that we will be on Yoshi's side.
No. So yeah, the survival vests are one of the items that are saved there. Yoshi doing a relatively recent development for the Black Mage version of the Lust Dagger route and getting the 4th floor light axe there. Cleric is going the more traditional route of getting the light axe on the 2nd floor. The benefit of the 4th floor light axe is that it's a couple of less steps overall to get to it, and you have the benefit of having the survival vest gear throughout more of the dungeon because you get it a floor earlier. The downside being is that the encounters on that particular 4th floor aren't terribly great for comparatively if you were to get them on the 2nd floor. And then we also, in that same menu, we put Lordly Robes onto whoever our primary spellcaster is in order to both increase the intelligence of that caster as well as some survival vests to make sure that we still maintain that early agility turn.
This is another difference between the routes, that we have a few less of the survival vests on our party overall. So a little bit less agility in the Black Mage route, but the intelligence makes up for it, I believe.
Yeah, as for the run chance calculation, it works out pretty much the same because we get the same amount of intelligence that we do in agility, or reverse that, whatever. But yeah, it's just so that because we need that intelligence just to make sure that our Black Mage can still hit those spell damage rolls. Which is odd to think that we need that much more intelligence when we're on the Black Mage route, considering that the Black Mage is more of the glass cannon of the mages and does naturally get more intelligence compared to other mages. But it's mostly just to ensure that we get those spell damage rolls. It's a better safe than sorry sort of thing. So this is Kraken, the most dapper of the fiends.
Yeah, I was going to say, both of the runners had pretty good Sunken Shrine there, but Cleric made it there first somehow.
That's a dead Kraken.
Calamari!
Yeah, Kraken's most terrifying thing in a glitchless playthrough would be his physical attacks. We stacked just a boatload of armor onto our inventory And with all of our agility gear, instead of getting his guaranteed 8 attacks per round that hit us for a truckload of damage, we get tickled for maybe 1 damage, and sometimes he maybe even only gets like 6 or 7 hits out of 8.
Yeah, Yoshi's encounter's not looking fabulous.
No,
Water
yeah.
elemental's also unrunnable.
I'm not saying that GreenCleric hasn't gotten unroadable encounters. I'm just saying Yoshi has gotten a lot more of them. I did see a Sahagin encounter on Cleric's screen, so I know he got at least one.
It's totally fair then, absolutely. But coming up next is the place with the highest encounter rate in the game. So I'm sure there is plenty of room for Cleric's run to get a little more rubbish.
Yeah, the Waterfall Cavern is full of nightmares, literally and figuratively. Because the nightmares, those little what's it called? Terrible unicorns that want to stab us.
Yes, terrible unicorns.
That want to stab us are back. There are mummy encounters. There are Pyrolisks, which are bigger jerk birds because they have well, they don't have the paralysis touch, but they have this gaze attack that will just insta kill you.
Don't they death touch you?
Do they? I don't recall actually.
They do, yeah.
They have several manners with which to kill you.
Yeah, they try hard. They should be called Tryrelisks, really, because of how hard they try to kill you.
Yeah, those clay golems are like the least threatening thing in here because of how slow they are. There's 1 in 64 green dragon encounters. There's ambushed by nightmares.
Yeah, there's more angry unicorns.
So Yoshi has Kraken down. They are making their way
Yoshi
to
left them a little bit further behind now. I'm gonna go for like 1 to 2 minutes somewhere.
Still completely recoverable.
Yeah,
however, we do. It's kind of a thing there it's you can't count anyone out of this race in a race this close, especially when by the time you get to this point of the tournament with our runners' relative skill levels compared to one another, no lead is safe. It's absolutely up to just whatever encounters they get in that there and how well that they have adapt to that.
I will say, I think Cleric got a pretty good waterfall cavern there as well. Clearly, Cleric is doing well for the watery graves section of the game.
Cleric didn't get a whole lot of the nightmare encounters. I saw a lot more clay golems than anything else. So that's actually the encounters suck, but as far as which encounters you could get, though, that's possibly your best possible outcome.
Hey guys, darkness hype on Yoshi's screen then.
Just name your ninja hype every single thing.
I know, I'm enjoying it. Everything is positive.
Yes, but yeah, don't count Yoshi out yet because we still have several bad places just full of encounters we have to go through, and we still have the final dungeon. It just gets worse from here.
Yeah, final dungeon, first floor can murder you. The third floor can murder you. The anything below that can just strip you of time, like you were in a seedy nightclub being. Yeah, no, I'm gonna stop there.
Yeah. Cleric got learned Lufenian from Dr. Un, and then let's touch upon this because we missed it with Cleric's menu. So we got ourselves a ribbon here in the waterfall cavern there, and this is going to be a unique instance of the equipment glitch where we're going to turn that ribbon into a weapon and then turn that weapon back into ribbons. So we got ourselves like a Gantax, and now Yoshi is glitching that ribbon into the rest of the party. Because of this little property of the equipment glitch, we can essentially skip having to detour to pick up other ribbons, and it's just conveniently that because we have to come to the waterfall cavern anyway with the robot, we don't have to travel maybe more than 4 to 6 steps to get to talk to him and get the ribbon there. So it's just nice and convenient to just grab both here. And then we have ribbons for the rest of our party, and we don't have to deal with the fact that there's only 3 ribbons in the base game.
We don't have to die! Yay!
So Cleric getting a very, very nice walk to the town of Lufenia. That's one good NPC. That's a jerk NPC.
That's the worst NPC you can get. That's a 3-tile NPC.
And then we can talk to this Lufenian, get ourselves a chime. And then we don't have to deal with that NPC blocking nonsense. Speaking of NPC blocking nonsense on Yoshi's side.
Luckily, we don't have to walk out again. We can just use teleport. But that blue-haired guy is proper threatening to keep Yoshi there till Kingdom Come. On GreenCleric's side, we would like to introduce you to our friend, the Minotaur Zombie. We're probably going to see about 20 million of those. Because I've said so now.
That's what's it called? Those are hail Gyguses. That's not a Minotaur zombie.
Maybe they're just all going to be on Yoshi's side. Yep, looks like it. Sorry, Yoshi. Sorry, Yoshi. Hashtag sorry, Yoshi. Oh, there you go. Listen more.
Commentator's Cursed is a fair and just what's it called? Chaos god.
Yep. It makes me feel kind of powerful, not gonna lie. Yoshi doesn't deserve this. He does not deserve this fate.
I mean, to be fair, they called this because during Sonny and GreenCleric's match in the semifinals, where Yoshi was commentating, I believe at least 3 of them. They kept wishing like Warmech and all sorts of terrible things there, and so people were telling them that what's gonna happen is you're just gonna get some comeuppance during your finals match.
Yeah. Well, how many Minotaur zombies has Yoshi had now?
That's
I haven't been counting, but that's about 5 encounters, I believe.
5 encounters, at least 3 of them have been Minotaur zombies, so...
Has anyone researched this is like an actual superpower? Because I might apply for like the Avengers. So what's your superpower? What can you do? Well, I just have to say something and it happens. Particularly when no one else wants it to.
Which can be a good and a bad thing. It's just like, it's like, well, thank you for applying for us and not the League of Villains.
Yeah. We'll don't call us. We'll call you. Yep. Yeah, that's another Minotaur zombie. I'm genuinely feeling bad now.
Why do you think I don't invoke Warmech anymore? I've got. I'm something like I'm like 2 out of 14 on Warmech for commentary curse. So, which is I will say like at least like triple anybody else's commentator rate.
Good job. I'd say good job, except for,
Yeah. Fun fact. I may or may not be co-commentating with someone that I invoked that little villain power on. Was very unfortunate. And
Speaking of what was his name? Death Machine.
Killing
technical
bot.
assassin. Mech no murderer. I just can't think of it. I believe he turns up on floor 5. Sorry, floor 5 of Flying Fortress, which is where GreenCleric is right now. Not that GreenCleric's making any good time there, because he's just got an ambush. But possibly we might see Murderbot. But no, that wasn't it either.
No.
Can anyone help us out?
Come on, chat. You know who you want to see.
On.
Start invoking his name here because we've seen him in like one match of this whole bracket stage, I think. How has we not seen?
No, we're not going to get there ever. We got a 9 thing ambush there.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, good. Right, this is a chance for Yoshi to catch up.
Yeah, so...
He's had a pretty good... what's the thing under the Flying Fortress?
Mirage Tower.
Mirage Tower, that's the one. Not Flying Fortress. the very on-land fortress.
I must say that possibly that was only like maybe okay, I'm not even gonna finish that thought because this happened.
Wow. Okay. I think, to be honest, Cleric deserved that because it was only because of me that Yoshi got 20 million Minotaur zombies.
Yeah. So a little fun fact about the ribbon. Ribbons don't protect you from a Mind Flayer's death touch because there's a little thing in this game known as that's another The game does not want to let me finish a thought, apparently. That is apparently what I'm concluding.
Wow. Oh, Cleric, I'm sorry.
No, so I was gonna go about how there's time elemental magic in this game, and there's not really anything that guards against that. But here we are with a Rakshasa Medusa ambush that is just wasting all of the time with the longest
Yoshi,
animations.
Yoshi's hasn't quite overtaken, but it's pretty close.
Well, both of our runners now on the Bridge of Destiny.
Oh, Yoshi's going hard. Not gonna stop for a safety save or a pause or a heal or anything. And therefore has just taken the lead, despite being about 2 minutes down, like 5 minutes ago.
So into a fire hydrant ambush.
Did you say fire hydrant?
I know what I said.
And GreenCleric is heading to the last crystal. This big dragon is called Tiamat.
And
She's
just like
lady.
that, we are all tied up.
Yeah, this is insane. I was not watching, but Yoshi must have had such a good Mirage Tower of Flying Fortress.
No, the Flying Fortress was amazing for them. I hardly saw it, and I would also like to point out too as well. Cleric got a 9-pack Rakshasa Medusa ambush into a Mind Flare ambush into a 9-pack Rakshasa Medusa ambush.
I try. What can I say? I may have mentioned that he wasn't making very good time towards Warmech. Oh, Warmech! That's what he was called.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to see a
just on the tip
Warmech,
of your tongue.
yeah. So if you want to see a Warmech, don't worry. We've got maybe about 15 more
Squares.
Squares to step on.
Things. Steps.
And if not, we have at least 2 more games that two more games out of opportunity.
Don't worry, they'll stretch it to 5, and then if they haven't had a Warmech by then, we'll make them stretch it to 14. What happens if? Oh wait, no, you can't have sudden death in 5, can you? Wow, I'm intelligent. So one last little cutscene break. Actually, no, we've got 2 little cutscene breaks here before the end. Oh, one more encounter. It's a black fan. That's not what I wanted.
Cleric got the encounter, but Yoshi bonked, so not terribly far ahead.
Allosaurus.
It's like, that's not a green Tyrannosaurus.
That's no fun. We want Tyrannosaurus.
Mm-hmm.
This is beautiful. We've actually got basically synchronized stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
So we're heading into the Chaos Shrine, which is the final dungeon. Almost neck and neck. This is insane. We've got one little cutscene here, which is completely irrelevant. That's just the opening of the final optional dungeon. We could go in there and kill the final. What's her name? The boss.
Cornodia. You know, that's
Cornodia,
something that's something that's totally easy to pronounce.
We could go in there and kill Cornodia and get ourselves a barbarian sword. Oh wait, we had that like an hour ago. Okay. So we're just gonna head up to this dark crystal. We're gonna touch it. We're gonna go. Oh look, we got shiny crystals, and then we're gonna get a step back. 2,000 years in time to the time of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Oh wait, no, sorry, the time of chaos. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna head in here, and both these runners, I hope, are gonna take a safety save because
thank you. Okay, Yoshi, please. Yoshi, please. Thank you. It's like you haven't saved since Ice Cave. Please don't erase away now.
Right. So we know that neither of these runners are going to completely throw their run away because that's something that people have done earlier in the tournament. Just come in here, all guns blazing, and then just lost their run because they died on the first floor.
Yeah, no. So let's talk about why Chaos Shrine is just not fun. what's it called? There's purple worms which are unrunnable on the first floor. There's just pretty much every
Green
single
dragons,
dragon under the
can't run from
sun.
them either. Yeah, basically, if you see a dragon, you can't run from it.
There's one
Basically.
dragon you
I
can
said
run
basically,
from, but
basically.
yeah, but
Oh yeah, if you see a dragon, you can't run from it, except for the one that you can run from, which is more dangerous than any of the others.
yeah, the one dragon you can run from is the one that has statistically killed the most runners.
I like to just think of him as a dragon you can't run from, because if you turn your back on him, he'll take it as a sign of weakness and murder you.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. Oh my goodness, Yoshi can potentially go tonicless.
Oh yeah, nice.
335 on the ninja, 272 on the black mage. So one of the things we're pointing out here for our HP totals is that for the chaos fight, we want our warrior and our white mage will usually be fine with their HPs there. Particularly for our ninja and our black mage, however, we need them to be at certain EXP thresholds in order to ensure that they can survive chaos's little shenanigans. And through the course of a normal run, they usually come up just a tad short, which is why we have those Giant's Tonics, which give us a temporary plus 200 max HP for the duration of one battle. Being at a certain HP threshold, usually this is about, I want to say 310 on the. Oh my goodness, that Yoshi got another strong level up on the ninja.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's about
362. What? That's insane.
Yeah, the ninja's HP threshold is like 300 if you're risky, 310 if you want to be on the safer side of it. The black mage only needs to hit maybe about 250, 260.
Can we get some hype for hype in chat, please? Because that's the. Whoa, we got another roll up. That's 390. What?
Yoshi is just getting all the strong HP level ups on the
I've never
ninja.
seen a ninja that high before. That's crazy.
Like the only. Like the only other thing that would make this perfect is if we had who was it? There was earlier in this tournament we had a black mage at chaos that had 345 HP. I am not joking. I saw that. I saw that and I was just like, how?
Axe. So yeah, we may have mentioned the dragon that everybody fears earlier. They're actually being fairly nice right now. White dragons, also known as double dragons, which
it just keeps going up.
They're known as double dragons because they cause double the trouble. I don't know why I'm talking about them, because no one's had trouble with them, which is just not fair, really.
Okay, we're past the worst floor and we're on to the refight floor, though. So, oh my goodness, how did they get synced back up? When did this happen?
My eyes are kind of like not liking looking at that thing with them both on the same part. Just my eyes, my eyeballs. Oh, okay. GreenCleric must have been at good health. No, he wasn't,
that
but he ran straight into the lich.
Okay. He had the wherewithal. He had
Lich
the heads
has
up
a flare. Lich does like to cast flare.
And with that HP, it's just like, you can't survive a flare at that HP.
Yeah. He's not gonna use it now, of course.
Yoshi did save at least.
Okay, whoa!
Yoshi at least took the safety save. I did catch that.
But Yoshi did not heal.
No, Yoshi was at full HP. Yoshi was at near full HP, but
that was a big flare.
That flare high rolled then because the warrior was still at like above 300 or some odd HP.
So that's actually not that big a time loss because he'd saved right beforehand.
Yeah, that's the only thing keeping him in this race right now. Oh my goodness, this is going to come down to like what encounters do we get on Sea Shrine and Tiamat's floor, I think.
Yeah, this is pretty close. And luckily for PSP, it's a very quick restart. So if you do save just before a fight, which most of the time you don't need to, but if you do, then you're going to get back up pretty quickly.
Yeah. It's about 11 seconds, I think, if you're on hardware for a reset. I believe both of our runners do emulators, so they have just a tiny edge on that. It's maybe closer to like 8 or so it saves a few seconds on that there. So it averages out to about 10 seconds a reset. And in a high tier run like this, it's usually a moot point because most of our runners aren't going to be resetting anyway. So
So this is one of the more annoying flaws in the Chaos Shrine. There's only one unrunnable encounter here, but it's very common. And they come in big packs. So we'll see how many of them our runners can get here. Ideally, you don't want to see any of them. Cleric so far, not doing bad.
It's very, very unusual to see a black mage with so much HP that without a ribbon they can tank a elemental spell.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That said, Cleric's managed to survive the Fire Augur as well.
Well, Cleric's not getting the unrunnables, but he is getting an encounter like very, very frequently in steps.
Cleric's ninja is also nothing on Yoshi's, but still pretty good.
Yoshi just made it about like 75% of the way through that floor before getting this first encounter.
That said, you know how I mentioned how sometimes a warrior rocks up to the chaos fight with like no HP? Pointing out Cleric there.
Yeah.
Bit scary.
It's manageable, but that's definitely low
Not
for
ideal.
a warrior.
Yeah. And we've got that synchronized Kraken!
Because Yoshi only had like one encounter to the
Beautiful.
Kraken. What is this game?
This is great.
This is total chaos. This is total chaos living up to its name.
People always ask us why we called the tournament that. It's partly a pun on the final boss, but also sometimes you get a match like this. And then we get the 4 purple worms, so we have to do a judgment staff.
Double buff for worm!
Perfect.
Oh, and I think Yoshi buffered his their action in menu, so didn't get the judgment staff.
Chose to do that. Possibly chose. Didn't chose. Don't know if it was chose. You know how we were mentioning about you can do physical attacks, but they take a bit longer because you won't have people to do all of the attacks, or because you have to menu back and forth between using your spells and your attackers.
Yeah.
That's what Yoshi just made a call on there.
Yeah, I mean, it might have been a
very
judgment
quick
call to
healing.
not reset the menus for the warrior and the ninja for the Tiamat, but still,
Probably Yoshi knows how close it is right now and didn't have time to think.
Yeah. I imagine both of our runners are just freaking the hell out right now.
Cleric is doing his final menu, so what he's going to be doing is putting...
The ninja is at 423 HP!
That's broken! That is just broken! What? And yeah, anyway, Cleric is putting Barbarian Sword on his Black Mage, he's putting the Golden Staff on his White Mage, and also taking off all her agility equipment to make sure she goes at the end of every turn. Don't worry too much about the last floor, there's no encounters on this floor, which is why Cleric is doing his menu at the beginning of the floor, Yoshi's doing it at the end. It doesn't matter.
Cleric also had a little bit.
Both save.
Cleric also had a little bit of a miss menu where he had to glitch the Barbarian Sword back into the ninja's inventory. Yoshi is not saving! Oh my goodness, Yoshi is going all in.
Do they need to with that HP level? Like,
I mean, technically no, but
unless you see a Kiraja, which isn't impossible.
oh
Okay,
my
so
goodness, we are down to Chaos
Chaos
AI.
has 3 different attack cycles. He can either do physicals, or he can do AoE magic, which is the slowest but isn't going to kill you, or he can go for his Kiraja cycle, which takes him through, basically he heals up half his HP, and then hastes himself.
Yoshi is going tonicless. Yoshi is going
Can't blame
tonicless.
them.
Cleric
So
looks like we'll have to throw a tonic onto the Black Mage,
Yeah.
so that will stall a turn, but oh my
this comes
goodness.
down to what Chaos feels like doing.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's so
that's
many
not
little
ideal
things that
for
will
Yoshi.
factor into this.
Right, Blaze is one of his AoE magics that take a really long time. What Cleric wants to see here is just physicals, straight physicals, because that's the fastest thing that Chaos can do.
Yeah, that's the only thing that will make up time here is just squeaking those fractions of seconds back from Chaos doing physical hits instead.
I mean, the difference between physical hits and the big AoE cost is quite a long time, really. Several seconds, so it could make that difference.
Oh no! Oh no!
Kip, what?
Oh, that Wait, was that a crit? What?
Yeah, that was 440-ish.
Oh, what? 400? Oh no!
Kip, why you do this? Yeah, that's a wipe for Cleric, who did save and is going to be able to finish the run, but...
Well,
Yeah,
no, because
basically,
Cleric
that's
saw how close it was. I think he didn't save.
No, he did, I think. I think he did. I don't think Yoshi did, but I think I saw Cleric save, because he saved at the beginning of the dungeon. At the beginning
This
of
is
the
bad.
Yeah, that is pretty much
Chaos
a
needs
win
to
for
do a
Yoshi.
physical, like, right now. Chaos needs to do a physical right now for Cleric to have any... That's the physical on the wrong person.
You were saying?
I mean, he can still finish. The warrior and the black mage can still finish this, but oh my goodness,
What have you done?
this is a comedy of errors.
That's your fault, Toku. That is on you. I am telling Cleric what you did.
I know. And that is time for Yoshi.
Ooh.
Final SRL time of 1 hour, 30 minutes, 20 seconds.
And then somehow Cleric has made it through this. To be honest, I would have reset when I saw my white mage dead.
Cleric should be able to finish this out. I think they maybe only has like 1 or 2 more rounds of combat he has to go through.
Yeah.
Okay,
There we go.
that is time for Cleric.
Woo!
Official SRL of 1 hour, 30 minutes, 53 seconds.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness.
So between me being a bad white mage and you going, oh, just do a physical, not that physical! We have ruined Cleric's race.
Oh my goodness. What a game 1.
Wow. Well, that's the thing. That happened. I feel like I haven't breathed for about 5 minutes.
I've been too busy laughing.
That would be a clerical error. Good job. Slow clap for that one. Slow clap. I can't believe how close that was at the end.
Yeah. So, Yoshi had to go AFK for a little bit, but they will come in for an interview. Cleric is also free for an interview as well. Let me see if we can get them in here. Let us welcome in Yoshi.
Hello.
Oh my goodness.
Have you got any idea what just happened?
I won because of HP totals, pretty much.
Partly. Also because Chaos was an absolute douche to Cleric.
I went tonicless and I was like, oh wow, I'm risking so much here. And then I looked over and saw Cleric's white mage was dead. I was like, oh my god, and I got away with it.
And then Toku felt like, baiting Chaos a bit, and Chaos lived up to expectations, as always.
Oh my...
Get GreenCleric in here as well.
No.
Hello. Oh god, that was so painful to watch. Are you okay?
You know
I'm
what?
so sorry.
I will take the fact that I actually managed to recover from that and still finish half a minute behind as a win.
That was a great job.
But
If that hadn't happened to you, if you hadn't had your white mage and your ninja murdered, you probably could have won that.
oh, this race would have been so much closer. I mean,
Yeah.
that is such a rare thing to see for Chaos to high roll on a white mage that has 390 some odd HP.
Did you see how much that physical was? Because we thought it was about 440, but we were like, whoa, what was that?
It started with a 4. I remember it started with
Yeah.
a 4.
Yeah, and that's just something you just don't see because it's like, oh, it's like, we're fine. It's like, even if he punches, he's not going to roll that high, and then that happens.
God, but the fact that I actually managed to finish the fight with that, it was like, I had to roll the dice. It was like, okay, I need a physical, I need something. Oh my god, he actually cooperated. Don't care if he killed the ninja, who cares?
I
Let's
was
just
going to
finish.
say, you're going to want to go back and watch the commentary on that one, because Toku goes, oh, the only way he can survive this, the only way, if he does a physical and then half a second afterwards, Chaos punched your ninja and killed him. I'm like, is that what you meant? Is that what you wanted?
Because he hadn't cast spells at that point.
This is the thing, like, we talk about how much RNG is in this game, and, you know, I felt like I was getting a really rough run of encounters. I got a lot of ambushes, just a lot of encounters on the whole. I counted my first 9 encounters in Chaos Shrine were all unrunnables.
Nice, wow.
And then the whole race basically came down to, at the end, does Chaos play nice? And for me, thankfully, it did.
You made up a good, 1.5, 2 minutes in
coming out of Waterfall, yeah.
Yeah.
You were way behind, and then suddenly we look over and Tiamat is on both screens, and we're like, ah! How did that happen?
I tried to take a few risks towards the end, and a lot of it was just I was really cautious with my menuing in terms of previous encounters, and then Lich. I want to mention I was 40 HP off of max. I was at 380.
Yeah,
I was
just how did that happen with your HP totals on the flare? And I just see your white mage the only one up. I'm like, what?
I could have gone for the judgment staff, and I was just like, no, this isn't. I'm just gonna reload it, go again. Caught up by the time I hit Kraken because I got 1 encounter on Kraken's floor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
which
that was
amazing.
insane.
That'll do it.
And then I got 4 purple worms immediately afterwards, and was like, well, there goes that one.
You both did. As I was saying,
Both did.
No, not 4 purple worms for Cleric. You get them on your screen as well. And we're like, ah!
Oh.
But
then
Chaos Shrine.
I knew it was going to be close as well.
I'm going to tell you how you made up the time. You made up the time because in Fortress, what happened was that I had back-to-back, I forget which one was first. One was an ambush, and the other one was ambush mind flayers.
Oh.
And it's like, oh, nice. Nice. So my warrior's down, my ninja and black mage are paralyzed. I did manage to get out of it, and you almost got me too because I took an extra step and forgot to safety save at Lich.
Ooh. Oh.
In Chaos Shrine.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I thought
But he played nice.
Yeah, he what's it called? And you were able to get the healer off turn 1 as well.
No, I was going to say my
9-pack ambushes were definitely nothing to do with me, by the way.
I got 2 9-pack wolves of ambushes in back-to-back fights. What?
Also,
What?
the Minotaur zombies, nothing to do with me.
Oh,
You guys are gonna have fun if you go back and watch this and just for
I have to.
Commentary curse. Commentary curse was definitely a thing.
I was going to say the Flying Fortress. I saw that I was catching up, and I was like, "Yes, I can do this. I can catch up. This is great." And then I got a 4 Hydra ambush that all blazed, and I was like, "Well, there's another 20 seconds."
Every time I looked at the restream, when I just glanced to see, okay, where am I? I'm like, okay, this is crazy.
Yeah.
That's what we kept saying.
I had a couple of encounters in Ice Cavern where I legitimately shouted at my screen. There was one where I finished the level grind, I was on my way out, and I got ambushed by 3 mind flayers, and I shouted. It's like, no, oh god, no, not now.
Yeah, and the thing with the mind flayers is, especially in Fortress, I'm thinking to myself, okay, but I have Ribbon, and then I'm realizing, wait, Ribbon doesn't do a thing against F-Touch, and it doesn't do a thing against Mind Blast.
Yeah, I was trying to go into that, and then 9-pack ambushing immediately afterward. And I was just like, okay, game, I'm just not gonna get anything in edgewise.
We kept trying to explain the things that were going wrong to you, and then we'd look over at the other screen, and there's something going wrong to somebody else.
We could have just done a 30-minute post stream. We could have just done it on things that went wrong in these runs. Oh, by the way, they both managed to get a time of 1:30. So this tells you how chaotic this game.
Yeah, not bad considering.
I think the what went right this stream would have been like less than 3 minutes long.
What went right this stream? We had a fabulous chat who were with us every step of the way. I'm not a suck up at all. And speed gaming, as usual. are awesome, and they go right all the time. Everything goes right with speed gaming. Thumbs up to speed gaming. Guys, that was race 1. What are you going to bring next time?
Oh my god, don't.
Dean, we're supposed to top this?
I'm expecting less than a 30-second difference next time, okay?
My first race of the tournament was 3 seconds loss by Soma not safety saving for the entirety of Chaos Shrine. I would be happy if that was my first and this was my last. Like, that would be it. That would be the perfect entrance and ending. Done.
I just want to see Iron Golems exist for somebody besides Yoshi.
Also that. Can we get Iron Golems on both streams?
No, when I got out the Tiamat fight, because of the Lich and everything there, as I was coming out the Tiamat fight, I was like, okay, I'm like 20 to 30 seconds behind. I'm not going to save at Chaos. I'm going to take a couple of little risks here. I lose if I die to Chaos anyway, so I'm like, whatever, I'm not saving. And then I was sat here like, okay, I need Chaos to play nice. Or Iron Golems for Cleric, that will do too. Didn't happen, I was so disappointed.
My argument, though, for that would be, you save at Chaos anyways, because if it goes bad for you, what if it goes bad for the other person too?
I figure if we get the same luck, you win.
So if we get the same luck, it's close. If we get the same luck, it's really close. I mean, the only way that I might have been able to beat you on that would have been if Chaos was extremely rude and just kept going skill after skill after skill. That might have been the only way I could.
No, yeah, that's the thing. With the current HP totals that you had throughout your party, it was basically just down to whatever Chaos's AI did at that point there, like animations, like the time differentials, like Cleric, you had like just a little bit of a deficit because you had to tonic turn 1 on the black mage, whereas Yoshi didn't. But I mean, like that could have easily been made up by like one difference of Chaos doing an AoE skill on Yoshi's side and him doing a physical on yours.
I think
right,
two things...
or if he decide to do a spell run through in Kiraja. I mean, those are the only 2 possibilities there. As soon as the white mage goes down, it's basically, okay, I gotta try recover this, otherwise it's game over anyways. And then when I actually recovered, it's like, okay, I only have 2 attackers, so I just have to hold down A to win and just hope that something happens. But no, I mean, that was intense. But
yeah, like I will say, like when I looked up to set up for the Chaos fight, like obviously I can't look over while I'm menuing and stuff, and I had the restream up, but that was about 30 seconds behind. And I looked over as Tiamat was dying on my screen and saw it dying on yours on the restream, so I was like, I'm like 30 seconds behind. But the other thing is, I don't know the white mage route as well, so I don't know how different your menuing is. And I'd done most of the healing before Tiamat, and I was like, okay, I can just go in, do the equips, ether up, go.
I'm going to tell you one funny thing about the run, though. We do the white mage route, so it's all the items and that, and okay, I had no unrunnables in Sea Shrine. I think I have to break out the Nathaf once or twice. I think I only have to break out the Black Robe against the Gas Dragons. It was like, it was the weirdest, like, it wasn't like I was getting encounters, but like that was the one thing that went right. It was like, even through Kraken, it was like, okay, no unrunnables, no ambushes, no ghosts, nothing. What's going on here? Like,
yeah. As I'm going through, I'm like, okay, the route that we're like the route differences. I'm like, I can make up time in Sunken Shrine, and I look over at Sunken Shrine where I think I lost about 30 seconds compared to my average splits. 20, I just looked. 21 seconds I lost to my average splits. I look over and I'm like, that's pretty good. I should have made up a little bit of time. And I look, you pull further ahead. I'm like, wait, what? What?
Yeah, Cleric was approaching his light axe when Yoshi, you were getting yours. And I would like to point out that Cleric gets his light axe 2 floors later.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Little difference in the routing.
Oh, jeez.
Well, what's your...
So who's pulling out puzzle strats first?
Yeah, that too. Also,
no puzzles. I've tried the puzzle once ever, and I reset at that point because I'm so bad at them.
If either of you do puzzle strats, I am messaging Forsyth and saying, sorry, you've got to disqualify that runner. But yeah, any predictions for the next race? You got any idea?
Oh god,
who's gonna win the next
oh
race?
god, no.
Not a clue.
The only thing is that I just have to hope for just a little bit of a kinder chaos. I mean, it was still consistent. I mean, 130 is still a consistent time, and I mean, it wasn't. So many more things could have gone wrong in that run. That, I mean, to lose by 30 seconds. I mean, in this game, not 30 seconds is really like 2 or 3 when you look at it. That's just how. Even you lose by 2 minutes, and it can still be, hey, that was a really close race. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to change anything. I mean, take a couple days, get game 2 set up, and see what happens.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I had some clunky menuing, and that's about the only thing that, like, I always say with this, it's like, you can't focus on the things like the RNG, because, like, whatever, that's going to change run to run anyway. But I might just take a step back and practice my menuing a little bit more over the next few days, just get that back into the swing of that, and that's about all I can do.
Yeah, you and me.
That'll be awesome to see. Any
like
kind of
what-
idea when next match will be?
Tuesday, probably?
Tuesday, probably. Cool. Got that chat?
Yeah,
Tuesday,
Tuesday.
probably.
Tuesday probably, or Wednesday maybe. I mean, I'm just waiting to hear back from Yoshi, and once we figure that out, it'll be.
I think
It will be a day. It will end, the day will end with a Y.
Yeah. One of these days that ends with a Y, and I think the day actually ends in DAY. So I mean.
Oh wow! Okay, that's even more specific. Cool. We will tune in then. Anything else that anybody wants to say? Shout out, curse Chaos a bit, and his offspring, and you know.
Off stream, I'll do that. Yeah.
PG-13, please.
I'll save that for the last. We're gonna go to race 5, so I'll save it for that.
Hope so. That'd be awesome.
Oh no, not again.
Cool.
I just want a Warmack. Is Warmack too much to ask?
Yes. No winning allowed without Warmax. Cool. I think that's probably it from us. I think.
Any final shoutouts, guys?
I'm good. I'll save it for the next games.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just lot to take in. So I mean, you know, remember, guys. Remember, day ending in a Y. We're gonna go.
I think it'll be Tuesday. I think I'll be good for Tuesday.
Yeah,
also
just let me
shout
know.
out
We'll
to-
set up.
Shout out to Hype the Ninja with his 400 HP. Yeah,
423 HP at Chaos. Like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, but just remember, bad things can happen. I'm pretty sure. I have to look back, but I know that roll started with a 4, so if my white mage could go down, your ninja sure as hell. I have to look at a positive here. I have to look at the, you know, my luck.
Guys.
With my luck,
I just wanna
it's gonna
make
be
sure
he's gonna
your
get
ninja-
one. He's gonna get one, and it's gonna be like, 420 HP, 419. Wow.
I just also want to point out that your ninja that died to that hit was named Yoshi.
Well, yeah, that was just the final. That was just final nail in the coffin right there. Just like, you know, it's like if you're gonna take someone out, take out the warrior. Like at least that would be fitting. But it's like, I don't know. It just didn't make any sense in the whole grand scheme.
Oh, jeez.
Alright then.
thank you very much to both of you for an exciting game 1.
Yes, absolutely.
You're welcome.
Thanks for doing comms. Yeah, have to
You're
watch
very
back.
welcome. We enjoyed it. Thanks,
I'm
chat.
sure you did.
Thanks, Speed Gaming. Thanks, FF1, for your usual shenanigans. And good night, everybody.
That'll do it for us. Thank you very much.
Good night.